Hello, and welcome to Rightfully Sewn's Atelier and YouTube channel. I'm Jennifer, your host, and I'm so pleased that you're joining us. Together, along with special guests, we're going to explore fashion design entrepreneurship and domestic manufacturing. Today, we're going to learn about funding options for your business. Finance is the lifeblood of your business. Steady cash flow, especially at the startup phase, is critical. Entrepreneurs can use a variety of means to bring in capital. For instance, loans from friends and family, a loan from a bank, credit cards, angel investors, and more. Here with us today is Chris Good, health food guru and founder of Ruby Jean's JUICERY. With 3 locations now around Kansas City selling juices, smoothies, and food, I'd really like for him to share his experience in securing funding. Let's learn with Chris.
My name is Chris Good. I'm the founder and owner of Ruby Jean's JUICERY, a local startup business here, all named after my late grandmother, who unfortunately died at 61 from type 2 diabetes. When I got into health, I decided that I wanted to do something to honor my grandmother and also make health more approachable by way of her story. Somebody that literally never had fresh juice, never ate healthy, and it cost her life ultimately. So that's the purpose of what I do, and it's something I'm passionate about. I had a very well-paying job at the time, and I quit way too fast. I had saved probably about, maybe about 50 grand of my own money just from working. I had a couple of good-sized credit cards. I had great credit at the time. That's one thing I want to point out. I had great credit, and I took that and I said, okay, this is what I want to do. And that's when I looked out at the marketplace in Kansas City and I couldn't find a location. So I actually went back to work, took a local job in Kansas City just to kind of keep things afloat. But once I found that location, I went all in. I wagered the savings, I maxed out the credit cards, I liquidated my 401k. I got a small loan from a friend at the time. And with that, I took all of it and put it into that space. So from a funding sense, when you talk about bootstrapping, oh my God, I bootstrapped it. And I don't recommend it. It's not for everybody. It comes with a great amount of stress, a lot of burden. You have to kind of know where you're at in your life. That risk that you take, if you have a family, your entire family takes that risk. And it's great if you have that support system around you. Even if you're well-funded, the family's gonna have to support you. But I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. Really, I'm a man of faith. I say pray on it, be led on how you should do it. There are other funding sources, and I've come to know some of those, but to start, I had to do it all on my own. From the way I did it prior, now I maybe would at least reach out, flesh my concept out on paper and say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is why I believe in it. And these are the reasons why I believe that it will work. Do I think that I would have got funded as a startup with no proof, no sales, no anything? It may have been difficult, but I think I would have at least had those conversations. One of the sources that I found for funding now, we did a small micro loan with AllCap. There's a community fund that's willing to make flexible loans and investments in small startup first phase businesses here locally. They're a very flexible entity, very trustworthy. Like for instance, we got robbed a while back and AllCap said, hey, would you like to do interest-only payments for a few months just to try and help with that blow. It's an awesome source. It's more community-oriented. They actually have a pulse to what your business needs and what the feel of your business is in this community because they're a part of the same community. Around the country, there are several different community funds that exist. We know that small business is very important to the fabric of our economy, but big banks and small businesses, they don't really see eye to eye. Community funds have come in the middle to kind of place that void for somebody that says, okay, well, I'm gonna look at you and I'm gonna look at your numbers, but I'm also gonna look at your business and your trajectory and authentically see what you represent. AllCap, like I said, has been a great resource for us, and not only just for funding, but for also connections. AllCap is a very well-connected entity, and they're willing to share resources that extend beyond money. Now that we've grown, we've been approached by different investors and different banks, and we've had several opportunities to take resources from sources that are not the smartest money. It's important that we partner with the appropriate resources. Money that says, here's money, but here's also intellect. Here are channels, here are relationships. Money that can point you in the right direction as opposed to just plopping down on the table. When I think of the tools that I've used to learn during this entire journey, for me, it's tapping into the ecosystem of Kansas City has been very, very important. We have, I would venture to say, maybe the most entrepreneurial, supportive ecosystem that exists in the country. If you have something that you're passionate about and you put a stake in the ground and say, hey, this is who I am and this is who we are, it will be supported. Resources will come back to you if you genuinely put your heart out into this community. I did Fast Track Growth Venture, I did Scale Up. I've done several different groups where support has come back. Mentorship is invaluable. I couldn't even put a price to mentorship. People that have gotten great success from this same community over, generational periods are willing to reach back to younger entrepreneurs and younger people that are passionate about seeing our city ascend to the next level and say, hey, let me show you this path. Let me connect you to this person. One of the great things that a small business could do is seek for advice. Who has operated in this space? Who can understand my trajectory? Who already understands the pitfalls that we may face? One of the great pieces of advice that I received was to build an advisory board around myself, finding people that align with your values, with your mission, that have already maybe exited a business or have an expertise in this thing. For me, I wanted someone that really knew business at a big scale, but also was a man of faith. I wanted someone that was inclined with numbers. I've never really been a numbers person, so I wanted somebody that was really inclined that way, but also understood the retail market. And then I also wanted someone that had grown a business from scratch. Some of the things that have been important for us to have are our profit and loss statements, our projections into the next few years, our current books, our current tax returns, anything financially related. It ultimately speaks to the health of the business, because if you know your numbers and you study your numbers and you know where you're going, when you're losing money, when you're gaining money, it will help you make informed decisions, and it also prepare you as you look to scale to the next level, because nobody's going to loan me $1 million based on my looks. Now, maybe there's some people that have that. I don't. So we have to be prepared, and take the steps and say, okay, are our books up to date? Are they accurate? Even going as far as to performing a third-party audit, on your own company, I think is important, depending on how far you're looking to scale and what levels you're looking to reach. I think for me, as we start to have those conversations regarding financing, I want to make sure that the entity has either invested in or owned a project similar as the one that we're embarking on together, because I don't want someone that doesn't understand the industry and the pitfalls. Anytime I bring on anybody, if it's from a financial sense or a mentorship role, I want it to be someone that has walked the walk. You want an accountant that understands your business, understands where the hardest tax implications lie, what the new tax structure is based on your business, because there's so many different structures of taxes. It's so important to have the right accountant. Thank you so much to Rightfully Sewn for having me here. I am honored to share this space and time with you. I hope that you got something of value from this moment. Again, I'm grateful. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Chris, for joining us and sharing your expertise, and to you at home for watching. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to click subscribe, and also check out our public sewing classes and our small batch production services. If you have a question or topic that you'd like for us to cover, please email us at info@rightfullysewn.org. We'll see you next time.